Today, I will be showcasing rage cages from a couple different servers.
Like that lag, you're dedicated.
I was assisted by my electric fence expert Pablo. By assisted I actually mean I just watched him perform his architectural skills like I hired him to build a kitchen with high voltage cabinets. Our first competitor is a chemist named Beavis Brown from TG Station. This man holds more electrically charged rage in his heart than a pacemaker ever could. No matter the circumstances, he could punch his way out of anything. This graceful butterfly just needed a ring to float in, so Beavis went searching for a sting operation like DEA agents with quotas. His goal was to become the biggest meme fighter since Charlie Zelenoff. Our rage cage specialist Pablo was going to grant his wish by constructing an arena out of the pointless trophy room. This called for an outfit change. Now our hero looks like Castro trying to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. While waiting for the rage cage grand opening, Beavis built a blockade of random objects like beavers making a dam after a hurricane. He eventually moved his barricade to a better spot to cause traffic jams in order to raise testosterone levels and produce pissed off fighters. Instead, his recruitment tactics opened up opportunities into space like the Space Force.
Yeah, I'm looking for the Space Army.
It's the Space Force, dude. Sit down.
Okay.
Alright, man.
Clowns are always usually down to rage while the inept chemist was up for the cage. In order to keep it civilized, bats and other weapons are allowed when debating electric fence politics. A lot of people seem to be on the yes touch it side versus the nah fuck that shit demographic. Mr. Brown was tired of spectating. He decided to join in the fight like he was scared of clowns and thought, well, this is it. Remember to always be fearless if you're swinging a big piece of wood. Beavis knew this and saw that the clown was handcuffed, so obviously somebody wanted him dead. Then the champ got himself involved in a free-for-all brawl like he was holding the gimmick hardcore title. It was not going well for him, which is why he used his chemistry powers to opt out like Walter White did to Tuco. Only this time a lot lower on the so-called badass scale. It's really like comparing an actual chemistry teacher to Heisenberg, because this guy's just gonna die a nerd. This man may live forever. Either that or he has been reincarnated as a bartender like the guy with more open tabs than a multitasking internet dweller. Beavis then received a pie to the face like 69 with a prankster. This enraged him, so he became a hippie that helps potted plants with their vandalism. Bottle smashing was also a part of his advocacy. He was done giving back to society because his homie Pablo was building a rage cage that was inconveniently placed in front of the most vital emergency exit on the station. So of course Beavis got in on that shit. He helped out by securing the construction site with assistance from the mime and other MMA enthusiasts. As a group they jumped a security officer that was mad that the fence was cutting into his private room. After a bit of struggle they ended the dispute using mob justice. The melee playground was already covered in blood and it was only in its beta testing stage. If it's shocking people, then it must be ready like testing a taser's charge on your edgy friend that never gets offended. Their zapper illuminated no light but lured many flies in while looking like a makeshift staple-linked fence. Sadly, plasma fires put a stop to the debut of the rage cage. Beavis Not So Brown was out, but that loyal engineer was trying to save him. He's good. Like most people, he could stand his ground until confronted by a bear. But then what the fuck are you gonna do? This damn spoiled brat was revived again. For absolutely no reason though, because he was destined to die anyways. Now we have Ronald Easter here with the rage cage on Yogg Station. Fuck! Someone already sell games to the arena. Let's give Ronald Easter one more chance to brawl his way to an early grave like a boxer with a fetish for concussions. Pablo is back again as the one-man ring assembly crew. Ronald secured a couple of energy guns, more due to boredom than protection reasons. Because who in their right mind would bother simple dance club owners? These guys are just looking for a good time and nothing sexual.
Why don't you take a seat right over there? What was on the agenda tonight?
He then roamed the glowing mushroom patch looking for challengers. Fighters were in high demand to take on the new ghostly dance master, because Ronald does not want to find out what's under his sheets like staying in a motel. Then a color-changing substance attempted to make the entire cargo bay a dance floor. The only true dance floor was owned by the sheeted elite. A pale paper sailor white as a ghost wanted to try and conquer the spirit of many busted moves. The foolish albino fighter even offered the ghost a knife, but who needs weapons when you have electric fences just like an unsecured but kind of secured border? The ghost tossed the white boy around like he was turning him out in prison, because he was in full control. During the beatdown he even had time to build a glass table and put his victim through it like a handy abusive father. After his victory, the ghost celebrated with a chair-throwing toast dedicated to Ronald Easter. The ceremony was interrupted by a pseudo-wizard getting slammed through a glass table. The ghost and senile old man in a bathrobe continued fighting like you didn't believe your grandpa's ghost stories, but they were actually true, and in reality he's getting his ass handed to him by a guy hiding under a bedsheet. The Rage Cage dance floor now looked like the aftermath of a bar fight that involved a bottle shank, knife, and broken glass rash decisions. A janitor board tried to clean up the mess, but bloody footprints just kept appearing on the floor like living with a rascal serial killer kid. A fight broke out in the crowd because the two individuals involved were too scared to face the ghost in a rematch. The fighting days looked like they were over because people would rather make bondage wire art. An alien then challenged the spiritual champ outside the cage of dancing rage. Ronald Easter dropped some unnecessary laser eye surgery on this alien with 20/20 vision, which makes you so woke you die. He saved his friend but let the more important thing drift away. Ronald finally took up his first bout and it was against a dinosaur in a lab coat, so he was already at an intelligence disadvantage. He thought he outsmarted the lizard with the bottle smashed to the head, but the skelly was an arm-bladed ling. At least the creature was polite enough to try and save dumb old Ronnie. We have another quartermaster here, this time from the chaotic goon station. His name is Quentin Jackwright. He saw great potential in this ring. Maybe an electrified steel cage around it could induce rage. It was too late for construction because corruption was already taking place. A flamboyant wrestler and a motherfucker that looks like he writes creepypastas about himself were beating a monkey. After a while though, they began fighting each other. The pink tights fighter began attacking his opponent while standing in a chair like he was a big pussy attacking a huge rat. More people swarmed into the calamity while Quentin just threw some money in like he was at a gentleman's club. When he got caught up in the fighting himself, it was with a steel chair like ECW fans. He somehow managed to hit people with the chair while it was by his side. Maybe he was hitting his mark with the chair's edges. So no rage cage was being built, but ass was definitely being pounded by steel like Transformer porn. Quentin was exposed, revealing his squishy fat suit-like body. The embarrassment alone would have killed anybody. However, it was truly the heat that got to him like an overweight drug dealer. This dumb sack of potatoes somehow got onto the security force. How is he gonna solve any crimes? So Quentin searched for better opportunities as far as security guarding goes.
I'm building a masterpiece. A cage of rage.
I am here to protect the rage cage. Our horse-headed fisticuffs crusader was doing an awful job of protecting the rage cage because it was already on fire. He used his body to stop, drop, and roll the fire out like a nature freak that does not believe in fire extinguishers or the harming of water. The rage was on and it began with a guy hitting Quentin with the swanton bomb off the couch like me as a kid trying to kill my friends. The mysterious man was wrestling him while Quentin just wanted a box, but then it turned into a weapons match. Using handcuffs? Such a cheap cop-out. But whatever to get the job done, I guess. The handcuffed victim did get a little bit of revenge. Quentin still gave him a sensible beating before letting him go. Then it was back to still chairing and high-flying moves. All the ongoing combat gained security notoriety, but the people of the cage were always down to fight more people. Our scummy brawlers only wanted to fight, and they should be allowed this right. Quentin was not a real man of endurance, because he called it a day pretty quickly. After throwing just a few punches, he took a fat nap.
Oi! The saga continues! Oh!
Welcome to the strictest server with an unfitting name, Paradise. Because it's only a paradise if you enjoy not doing what you want and if you're a furry, of course, or whatever this thing is. Now look, Space Station 13 is definitely not an immersive game by any means, and it's already hard to take seriously, but when I'm interacting with bipedal dogs with fluffy fucking tails, it makes me feel even more ashamed to be playing this shit. I can tolerate the lizards because they at least look like aliens, but the furries are domesticated pets that try to boss you around like they're the owner. Anyways, an engineer named Brody Perkins has volunteered to participate in rage caging. This place is filled with all types of mystical creatures. Dragons looked on as the trio of blue boys began renovating a room that symbolizes the broken dreams of factory workers. So they home improved it.
Y'all getting fired?
Try me, motherfucker. I don't speak dog. Paradise hit our heroes with a wave of radiation for their toxic behavior. Brody and Walker had fun while Blue Boy Pablo did all the work. Damn lazy Americans. Brody contributed to the job by going on a conveyor belt run like a supervisor fixing a jam. Of course the stupid fucking fox gets in his way while he's trying to make a treadmill. This is what being an engineer is all about. Seeing your creations come to life.
Engineering to repair the fucking power in Siberia, or we will all die.
Security was sniffing around because they probably smelt the burning flesh of one of our boys in blue. Rest in peace, Walker Moon. Oh, and some dumb lizard was trying to make a door. The Sec Loch Ness monster was trying to take down the cage, so Brody raged. He knocked Wolfman down, but stun batons prevented him from delivering the silver bullet strike. The fursuited reject ended the fun like a furry walking in on a perfectly normal orgy.
There's no transparency. I can't fuck.
This man needs some help. We're gonna move all this stuff. We're about to rob Staples. Probably shouldn't be recording right now if we're gonna do it. Got the heat.
You need to diversify your bonds, nigga.